Hello everyone, welcome back to the Quake Open League EU Elite Finals. I'm Zoot, joined by Ketchup, and we are about to go up with two of the three players remaining in the tournament. We've got Virtus.pro Cypher and Cyberfight Base.
I'm excited to see this one. I know we've talked about this at length actually before we went to the break. It's the idea that Base has had a crazy rampage in this bracket so far. Obviously, he's had good success in Duel Online before, but this being Quake Open League, where every single top player in the world, especially in EU/CIS, is taking part, this would be one hell of a tournament for Base to take the crown on, particularly with the path that he's had, able to take out Cooler just now, being able to take out Cypher going into grand finals, and being able to defeat Zron in grand finals would be a path that many people can say is what you'd call legendary.
Yeah, he's out-survived his teammate Agent. I know that at the start of last Quake Open League, they actually met against each other, I believe, in the first round, in the round of 16, and it was Agent that was able to take out Base then. But this time, the Agent went out to Garpy at the beginning in a close 2-1 series that Garpy almost threw away. And Base has been the last Cyberfight member standing. However, we have got Ruins the first map. I didn't sadly pay enough attention to the champ comps, but we'll see them in just a second. I know that Base has been looking great. I got to favor Cypher still.
It was a traditional champion lineup with the exception of Cypher's gone BJ, which obviously it excites me because Cypher has always had one of the most impressive aims. He's always had one of the most impressive aims in the community, and being able to take BJ and kind of just be that extension, that exclamation point on top of an already sick aim is like very exciting to me, especially in this new patch.
I really want to see BJ rockets from Cypher. We've seen how incredible his rockets are through all iterations of Quake, and this is the weapon that he's most known for. And with BJ rockets, maybe more in a sort of deathmatch environment, the opportunities for sextuple air rockets on multiple enemies, come on, let's get a couple going here with the rapid fire rockets. Or maybe I'm just being hopeful. Never mind that though. We have got the match starting now. Catch up. It's Cypher and Base. I'm going to switch over to Cypher's point of view early on because fanboy alert, basically.
I mean, I'm pretty sure 95% of the chat would agree with you on that one, so that's all good.
Yeah, there's Base fans starting to grow too, so I won't remove that. Oh, that was close.
Right now, Base. I actually love these exchanges towards LG room because there are so many ways you can escape. It really is the aggressor's kind of option to get an amazing read on where they're going to try and go. Without piercing sight on Ruins, there are lots of different escape options, which is where the more experienced players, I think, really sort of come into fruition for the map.
Cypher's starting to pick up the other weapons too. He's got the Tribot, the rockets, now the LG and the rail. And he knows where his opponent is. I think he spotted him, and now Base has got a chance to use the piercing sight himself. Little peek rail if he's got the weapon. Oh, he lands it though, and Base's piercing sight, yep, it's gone to nothing at the moment.
The piercing sight didn't really accomplish much for Base in that situation because the rocket was used as a deterrent. The piercing sight ambush exists to make sure you can get some unchallenged damage before they know where you are, and if they know where you are, then you've achieved very little. Tries to go for a last minute rail, of which it lands. Because the stack is not in his favor, Cypher does live to fight another day. An excellent fight taken by Cypher there.
Yep, incredibly aggressive, but incredibly confident in his aim. The heavy wasn't taken immediately, so he could get rid of most of the HP that was scary before the pickup. And then it's just more of a formality for him. Little peek rail at the apex of the bounce pad. Styling, and now waiting for this heavy to spawn.
Patience towards the jump pad. Uh-oh, Base. Cypher actually so stacked, he's going to be able to come off better in that exchange. I think that's why Cypher wasn't really shy of using the jump pad, normally seen as such a catastrophical mistake. But if you've got basically double their health, you're still probably going to win if you land those shots. Tries to go in for the shotgun on spawn. If he gets one good point blank, maybe, but using the totem as cover, Cypher looking so good in round one.
Yeah, really nice, clean stuff. Already asserting himself on this map. Base, you know who he is. You've just got to deal with this aggression somehow. We're going to see some. We have to see some kind of adjustment, or even just counter aggression from Base, because we know that he can do it sometimes. It's just we haven't seen it yet in the small sample of data we've got between these two.
Base using every ounce, every ounce of his shotgun to just secure that first frag. That was actually really cool. Fresh off the spawn. Actually, the speed of which he could go from rocket to Cypher's location. I think that's actually somewhat why it caught him off guard, because you don't really see people travel around the map that fast, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to get that return aggression. That heavy has already gone, and he's going to have to watch out. Dual wield is around the corner. He's taking it. He might want to go and get himself some hourglasses. He's got his choices for where they are. Otherwise, he's just freely wandering the depths of ruins.
Now Cypher with that dual wield locked and loaded. You know, he's going to be looking for the right moment, but I think in this map in particular, there's a time and a place to use dual wield, and it's not always when the fight takes place, right? It's not always when it starts. But right now, when base has limited escape options, that's #1 time to use it.
He missed a couple of the initial rockets. If he landed them, actually, the fight very much could have gone in his way. But Cypher, the fight went basically as much as he would have hoped for. And he's able to get 1 kill also to even things up in this round. I wish base was more kind of pushy going into that angle. He should really have expected... He shouldn't have to, like, flip the coin to see whether that fight's going to work out. He should just try and bait out the dual wield and get out of there a bit more.
Dual wielding nail gun. That's danger. Flicks the rail but misses. Still has 2 rails temporarily, but not enough to get a shot that is worth the cooldown on it. He's done plenty of damage. Still a win. Oh, death sentence for base using that jump pad. That was a crucial mistake.
Checking the spawn up by light armor. I got a feeling that spawns have changed one way or another in this update. I obviously can't confirm that, unless it actually is in the patch notes. So I'm just not reading it. But it's going to give some people, some players, a lot of sort of room to experiment a bit more in practice. That help.
It's just stuff to explore with, I think. But this should be more unreturned frags. Goes in for the rail and it misses. He's got dual wield, and with base being this weak, this is actually disaster territory. He didn't even need the rail there. He didn't even need it.
Yeah, and he went for it, and he still managed to land it. But with 1 more round to go, I mean, Cypher, in all the games we've been seeing from him today, all the maps have just been pretty quick work from him. His aggression's been highly functional, and he's already like, well, I'm kind of just waiting to meet his wrong already.
It's this idea that Cypher seems to be using this new patch. His approach is all speed, all aggression. You know, obviously he's not doing it 100% of the time, but he's just almost always correct on when he should go in.
Well, base is able to survive the aggression then. Does get himself onto the mega health. 10 seconds now until heavy's up. An early setup's definitely not bad, but he's got to watch out in case there's a push in the next 2 seconds. And there actually is. LG, dual wield. It's up in a second. He gets it, and the rocket is dead on. Well defended from base. That was crucial.
It was masterfully played. The second he caught that ambush location, and Cypher wasn't prepared for him to be on the left-hand side. The time it took to both snap to him and switch to dual wield, that amount of time spent trying to even look at him was the time he needed to do damage.
Nice rail after the mega's taken too. Solid shot from base.
Oh, point blank things!
Well, this gore is getting me every time. It's so awesome.
It's a great addition. People always, when we saw the gore, I know some people were like, well, why would they change the gore? The game's kind of fine at the moment. It's like, you don't understand. You don't understand the difference it makes.
The possibilities. If you guys have got Quake Champions and been playing it, gore's not loaded by default, by the way. And if you want to see this kind of stuff on your game, then you've got to just enable it in the game options, I believe.
Thank you, Professor Zoot, for the tutorial.
Oh, absolutely welcome.
Right, Cypher now he's going to get that heavy armor. One of the totems is going to be down, which, as we all know, is going to be knowledge downloaded. Expecting a teleporter, he is going to be on the money, but it doesn't save base from taking the rail damage. That's the danger.
Wow, he's rocket jumping into this as well. He knows that Dire Orb has been used recently. Base is going to drop. He thinks that he's doing the double back, but he's just eating face rockets. And Cypher's 1 kill away. This looked like it could have been a base round, but it might not be the case. He's going to go in for the chase. Rocket's going to kill everything. And that is a 3-0 quick as you like for Cypher.
That's a very... I mean, we're going to be seeing those Cypher rounds very, regularly, is my guess. Because, I mean, every time we've seen this guy play so far in Duel in this post-patch meta, it's knowing when to go in, and it's the accuracy of his rockets. Almost every single rocket you take when Cypher is close range is max damage. So when it comes to picking a fight versus Cypher, it becomes very risky. Do I jump down that? Do I jump down that from the ledge? Do I think he's going to double back? Base made a couple of, educated guesses on where he thought Cypher was going to be, and consistently, Cypher destroyed in seconds because you're wrong. And if you're wrong, you're dead guaranteed against Cypher.
Well, that is Base's pick. That was Cypher's pick. Base's pick is Awoken that we're going to be going to next. Cypher's removed Blood Run. We've seen Corrupted Keep go, so I believe that's Blood Covenant as a potential tiebreaker. But we're a long way from a tiebreaker right now, considering how far that game went in favor of Cypher. Base is going to have to reach deep and see what he can pull out, because it's clearly a different game for him to play compared to the cooler match, a really cooler match that we had, no pun intended. But yeah, this is such a different pace.
I would almost be quite concerned going into Awoken, because I do actually think Awoken fits Cypher a little bit better. In terms of the two play styles that we see, particularly right now with the changes the game has received, I feel like I favor Cypher on this map. I personally do think this is going to be a 2-0 for Cypher going into Grand Finals.
I won't be surprised. It's hard for me to bet against that, given what we just saw on Ruins. We saw the BJ pick coming out once again for Cypher. I do hope that Base can put on a good show for us. We've been seeing some fantastic frags and stuff from the players, but it's I don't even know if Cypher wins this map. I don't know if Zron can stop him. We've seen no one really put a halt to Cypher yet. And Zron, his Killson game was convincing, but Sparty really wasn't. That was super close up until the last map. And even rounds in that last map were touch and go. But
for me,
steps from that.
It's kind of like you mentioned, because it looks very, very like this series has looked easy for Cypher so far, and it makes you feel like this is like almost an earlier stage of the tournament, But we can't forget Base defeated Cooler to get to this point, and Base looks really strong. But the fact that even Cypher makes the likes of even Base look quite simple at the moment is, I think, a testament to how dominant Cypher is looking. Let's not run before we can walk, of course. There's still this map to go, but if this is dominant too, I'd be concerned if I was Ron going into Grand Finals.
Yeah, I'm gonna check Base a little bit, just to give him some eye love before potentially the inevitable, as worrying as it is to say that. He's got himself a load of the weapons that he needs, and the next rotation of items coming up. It looks like he's trying to force something a little slower, but Cypher does not seem too unhappy to oblige.
I think Cypher's aware that the pace is being slowed down now as well, because he was very hesitant taking that Mega. I think he was expecting Base to be establishing some sort of like presence there. Second he realized there was no one there, obviously now he has the knowledge that, okay, this is a slow map, let's take it as such.
Found that almost the Space is finding some pretty incredible angles. Sadly, he can't connect with every single one. And now he should be able to control both of the major items. I'm very curious, how is he going to approach heavy? Is he going to go just lower? That's it. That's as close as it's going to be. Spotted Cypher, who's shown his face. LG to defend a bit more. It's hard for him to push exactly on the heavy, but now he just needs that resource urgently. Oh, one direct Tri-Bolt.
Oh, God. Cypher on 9 HP.
Base is going to attack Mega now. He needs to.
I actually think Cypher missing that small health bubble, it's cost him a lot more than you would think. The second he tried to get out of there towards Mega, he'd missed the small health bubble jumping towards it, and because he missed it, he had to waste his time turning around to collect it again, and the time it took to go and get it was the 4 seconds he kind of needed to fight for Mega. Right, there it is.
Rocket's got to be perfect for Base.
Oh, no!
That was good. Really good from Base. He knew the threat was there, so he had to be so precise with his rockets. If you're landing the shots, it can still be so damn powerful, but that's the skill right there, isn't it? He might even get himself around the Tri-Bolt to lock it down. Base is on the board.
I would say at last, it looked so rough on Ruins, but this turnaround, it's definitely a round that you need when you're this far behind. Now, if you can win a round, make sure it's dominant. Make sure you can show that, wait a minute, man, I'm here to play too. This is just before grand finals. Don't forget that.
Checking out base once more. He's got this heavy spawn. He hasn't popped. Oh, he didn't go for the super early piercing sight pop, but both of them are on the same page. Oh, a little bit of tribal damage. Cypher doesn't go through the teleporter, so base eventually backs off, but took a lot of damage. Looks for the full 180 flick rocket, but Cypher is all over that.
Cypher's weapon switching has been immaculate, by the way. Whenever you're watching Cypher play, if he lands a rocket and he just knows that the rocket he's just fired is going to knock them up and they can't move, he switches to LG for the duration of them being stuck in the air. When they land, he swaps back to rocket to continue, you know, the peppering down of damage. At all times, he's optimizing max damage he can dish out.
He just knows what his rockets are going to do before they've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how high you're even going to fly in the air. He's actually going to drop on this with the LG. He's got a bit of a stack advantage. Base, can he escape from this? Oh, the rail. Important shot. There was a hope for Base just then if the rail missed. But in the end, Cypher gets 2 big items. And he's going to surely be able to tie up this score in a moment.
Okay, now Cypher back in the driver's seat. And because he's managed to get the Mega, you know, he's going to have that mind of being able to rotate when the next set of items will spawn. He's going to be sort of commanding near Mega. He knows Heavy's going to be there, which is where Base is likely to be. Doesn't want to overextend though, but taking the Heavy. It's actually risky for Base. The double jump comes out. Wait a second. What was that?
Base has got a stack advantage at the moment. He's not going to be able to chase it. His stack is was an advantage, but not that much so. And now with the Mega, he maybe is able to set himself a little more.
The benefit Cypher's going to have is that piercing sight's now available. So, you know, when he next feels like he can go in, this is going to give him the data that he needs. Can he surprise with the teleport? You know Base is looking for it. Oh my god, the reactions on that sound.
Oh, nice
super quick from Base.
That was really, really nice from him. Cypher was missing out quite a lot of shots. Base hitting what he needs to. There's a rail. Oh my god! Almost gets another. That was a nice attempt by Base. Oh my god, that's so much damage from the dual wield. And Base, he had such an advantage in the fight to begin with because of... I mean, he was landing the damage almost a second before Cypher started.
And a lot of maps that would have been somewhat of a win for Cypher anyway, because he can spawn and maybe finish the job. But Base, there are so many health bubbles in a small space on this map that Base can sort of recover and heal up quite comfortably before he sees Cypher again.
Whoa.
He just did Cypher a favor and knocked him towards Mega. Cheers, bro. Oh no, he killed himself on the jump pad. Must have been confident he could have secured the rail, but not the right call to make, I don't think.
Hey, you made a shout about Rocket to Tribal earlier, and I think we saw some of that just then.
2, 1.
This is the new game that we play.
Exactly. Base, he's, I said, like, almost inevitably losing this map. He's won the first 2 rounds, and he's been looking astonishingly good.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it's a great recovery, especially when you got your ass handed to you in map 1.
And the tournament's saying when you lose super dominantly, it can take a while to actually recover from that, right? And special kinds of top-level players can look at a dominant map and go, all right, let's forget about it. You know, let's move on to the next one and start a clean slate. It's exactly what Base has been doing.
Oh, the tribal. No, sorry, the nail gun over there. It's eventually going to find its mark, and Base didn't even deny the heavy. Is this the small amount of space that Cypher needs to get back in this?
Potentially. He needs more rockets, though. He's only got 1. He's out of rocket ammo. That's unfortunate for Cypher, because it means now he's going to be stuck. Using the teleporter, he knows he's there, but Base has the ammo to make it damage. To make it count, not make it damage. That's not a sentence.
He just spotted where he is. He's through the hole in the wall. Is he going to have a stare at it? No, not right off the bat. A little back there.
Yeah, Base wants no part in fighting for Mega. He actually hasn't fought for a Mega all round yet. Kind of letting Cypher go in and take it. Taking the fight on his terms! And when he finally takes the fight, he's ready for the die roll. That was perfectly played by Base.
thing is, in the last patch, maybe it would have been fine for him to do that. I don't know if those health bubbles would have taken longer to respawn, if there would just been fewer resources for him to take at that stage. But Base had a bit of a stack going for himself then. He was looking just fine. Cypher got greedy.
Dual wielding the nail gun. I think the issue with dual wielding nail gun in that situation is that he used it from so far away. It was almost hasty. However, he's done plenty of damage, so I think he's likely going to be able to chase down Base here. Yeah, he'll take the rocket all day if it means he can secure the frag.
Needs to keep him at bay with the rockets. It's going to be a couple of seconds until Heavy's back up. Desperately want this to just perpetuate the control he's been getting. A direct to follow up, and the next one also. Sensational rockets from Cypher, and he's on the board here in Awoken.
Prepare to fight.
There was an impressive showing in that round. He desperately needed it, you know, because he'd been looking so dominant before. I think if it was a reverse 3-0, it's okay. I guess we're kind of going back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it kind of makes you doubt yourself a little bit, like in terms of how effective really were you in map 1.
Oh, almost got it.
Elbow. He wants himself that line of gun. Ooh, rocket's going to hit his mark a bit, and that is some wonderful intel to be getting.
Much slower pace here. Using the cooldown. I think they're going to wait for the rail to potentially miss before Base tries to fight towards it. Let's go check out Base.
That's good spam. Really good spam from Base. He gets perfect timing from doing that too, so it's no mystery about when Heavy was taken. And look at that, there's now a delay of 6 seconds on the Mega. So Cypher's actually got no idea what Base did to the Mega health.
Yeah, I think that's why he
get the frag now is huge.
Oh, there's the tri-bolt. That's excellently played. It's like you were saying, right? I think that's even better because Base deliberately delayed the Mega for that purpose. So Cypher now, he's going to spawn. He only knows where the Heavy's going to go, and he has no idea when the Mega's going to appear. He's nearby, though, so he might get that knowledge soon, but it depends. Yeah, he's going to get it. He was actually correct in his prediction, but it wasn't enough. Base, because he had the knowledge, he had the advantage in that fight.
That was so nice. And that was also down to the delay on the Mega. Cypher expected that he could have taken it already, and that is going to be another round win for Base. Pro plays from him. He's in the series, tying things up 1-1.
I think that delay on the Mega was the whole reason that round went in his favor. It was the catalyst for everything that happened.
It just did not look like at all, from Cypher's point of view, that that was going to be something he was doing. It just looked like he was kind of just brushing the outskirts of it and doing sort of Morris dancing around the Mega health and about to pick it up any second. But it was a pretty hefty delay. Like in reality, if he picked it up straight away, it would have come 2-3 seconds before the Heavy. So it ended up being like 10 seconds later than maybe Cypher was expecting, 9 or 10 seconds later than Cypher was expecting.
So, signs of life coming out from Base so far. I was really concerned at first, to be fair, with how crazy that first round went and how Cypher has looked so good all tournament. It was a question of, is anyone actually going to be able to stop him with the momentum that he's actually been able to build up? That being said, I think Awoken has kind of really put somewhat of a spanner in the works, I think you could say. Yeah. I'm interested to see how Blood Covenant goes, because I do think Blood Covenant favors Cypher, even though obviously it's a popular CIS map regardless of what happens in the patch, no matter what the meta is, no matter what the game mode is.
For me, Base is very similar on this map. I think he's always had a great history on this, especially back when Nyx was a lot more popular. He was phenomenal with that champion on Blood Covenant. I'm very curious if we might see some light champions come out for the first time today, or if they're still going to stick by some comfort picks.
Well, so far, going into this champion selection, we can see Visor and Ranger, Galena, standard stuff. Finishing off with a BJ again, okay, and then Doomslayer.
Interesting about the BJ on the Blood Covenant. I think when it was Ron that was playing it, he decided to move away from BJ on Blood Covenant. Actually, no, I could be telling an absolute porcupine there. I think it was actually Ruins that he moved away from it. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I still got to have my money on Cypher, but it's a tough one to tell when Base has just made us come back on the map the way he did.
Now, what intrigues me is actually looking at the champions that we have selected, because of that moment where it was the insanity moments we saw. I believe it was Spartian's Ron, where they pretty much took it in turns to kill each other because of on-spawn abilities. You kind of wonder if we're going to see something very similar on this, because, you know, we have a lot more of the champions that can do it. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen champions get picked this regularly. I think it must just be the inclusion of BJ that makes it so likely that we can see spawns be dangerous. It goes away from almost like the standards of duel, where it's this guy spawned and I'm now going to press the advantage because he's got no health or weapons.
Yeah,
it now means you got to respect it a lot more.
Well, we are here in the tie-breaking map in the second semi-finals. It is Cyberfight's base going versus Virtus Pro Cypher. He was in top 4 last month. He wants to make sure he's building on that and doing better than before. He is going to be seriously driven to get at least top 2. And I'm pretty sure anything outside top 1 will not be sufficient. And rails like that is sending the message a little harder.
And because he saved the piercing sight, he has it ready for the second spawn. And Base, even if he gets the Mega, he's pretty much, you know, in a horrific position. And I love the Dire Orb. He needed to use that, otherwise Cypher. Yeah, because Cypher would by far, I think, he would have got that frag if there wasn't a Dire Orb on the field.
Well, he's allowed Base to get a couple of items from that. He did manage to hit one rail, which kind of mitigated the full effects that Base would have had. Doesn't realize that Base is right below his feet just then, but he's got a nice early setup for Mega Health. Looking good.
I think that's why Base actually opted to stand still. He really didn't want to give Cypher any information. The thing is, now obviously that's going to be easier said than done because the piercing sight is up and ready. So all that patience Base has actually managed to display gets swiftly undone if you can see him through the map.
I think he just heard him then. He's right above. I wasn't quite realised. Base being a little careful. He's got the Doom, so he can just double jump around the map effortlessly. Mega Health is up. And Cypher steered quite clear of it. He's coming in late to do a bit of damage, and Base is already dropped from the platform, so if he timed that half a second early, he probably would have found a rail shot to have landed. Oh my god, though. That's a ton of damage.
That's the kind of rocket that just forces Base out of the fight completely. He really can't sit there and fight. Can't fight for the heavy either. With no armor, you're going to be more than railable. Directly underneath. Yeah, Cypher would have heard that too. The chase begins. Piercing sights to make life a lot easier. Ambushes him with the LG, and there really is no reason Cypher was going to miss that fight. And of course, he takes it easily. 1-0 for Cypher at the moment.
Yeah, lovely switches as well. LG into the rocket. Normally you wouldn't go rocket versus Base, but he did a little jump. Cypher made sure the rocket met him when he hit the floor, and then it was just so easy for him to clean up. Cypher back on Visor, likewise Base. Mega Health for Cypher, heavy for Base. And now it's time to search for some weapons. Piercing sight has been triggered. This is
Sniping him with heavy machine gun. The problem with Base is, even if he landed that rail, the stack for Cypher was so good that on hit, you're still going to be like a slave to that heavy machine gun damage. There's nothing you can do about it, and I love that weapon switch.
Whoa. That was a close push, and I think Cypher could have even considered going through that choke point, but it would just be rockets to worry about, not the Dire Orb.
Oh my god!
Does a bit of damage, and he's like, you know, let's not funk with it. He keeps hitting these rails. One more would put Base critically low.
If
Dire Orb's coming his direction.
So brave! The brave stuff, but he's still alive. How is he still alive? Yeah, of course. That's why the weapon switch come through. Base being way too aggressive there. He should not have teleported on that Dire Orb.
I think Cypher even got surprised from that, because even for him, that is like crazy aggressive. He's normally
it's a level of aggression like that it's a risk that you don't expect to be taken this late in a tournament. Normally, when a risk is massively in your favor, you might even be able to understand the decision, but I don't think that was one of those cases.
Watch out for that there. There was the drop down. Cypher didn't see it, but he'll expect it. He's farming up a lot of these hourglasses, actually. He's been enjoying Banana Side a lot. Taking 6 hourglasses then.
Tries to get one of those piercing sight rails, but it's going to be one instead. He's out of rails. That's unfortunate for Cypher, because you know he would have been happy with a bit more ammo.
Oh my god.
To make life difficult for Base, who's now going to try and press the advantage. Taking the heavy becomes a risk, but the patience completely sprung by Cypher. That was a wonderful play.
It's like, as long as I commit to this and I get the frag, I don't mind if any projectiles are whittling me down. It was a risk worth taking from Cypher. But if it was earlier on in the round, I probably wouldn't have gone for it.
Round 3.
I just realized I just need to get this frag, and then don't need to
You
worry
kind of
about
see,
anything.
we're just talking about risk versus reward in two different instances. I think Base's really eager teleport to the Dire Orb was a bad risk, and Cypher's risk there was on complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a world where he didn't get the kill and he just did damage, but I think you can take it for peace of mind of picking up the round. It's like, yeah, justified.
All right, the LG. Cypher now has the golden triangle of weapons and duel. Maybe it would be a golden square coming in with the tri-bolt. Oh my! Another rail. Base has to land the shot, but he doesn't have the chance. The hesitation on the shot was enough. That's unfortunate, man.
Cypher's just being so accurate right now as well. Yeah, it's been really, really nice from him. He's a little weak at the moment. Base gets through that teleport without taking additional damage. He's now getting the weapons himself. Bit of machine gun damage. And Cypher connecting fewer rails now.
And the Mega is a long time away from spawning. Base is still being aggressive because he has to be with the stack, but what amazing rocket. And now it's going to set up for a rail. If Base sticks his head out, he is absolutely finished.
This could hurt a lot for Base. He's been hit by one small bit of rocket splash damage. And now the Mega has been circled around, cutting him off from going up the stairs. And now he can drop on him, I think.
The Dire Orb misses too. Badly placed orb, and he's going to finish the job with the LG. He really should be able to secure this kill. How does Base even get out of this?
I don't know how he's alive, actually. I don't know how Cypher hasn't been able to finish him off yet. There is health scattered around the floor. My Base is really like, I'll stay on 10 HP as long as it means I don't have to run into this Belarusian guy.
But there's so much cooldown on the map that it's allowed Cypher to get piercing sight back way faster than Base might have even expected.
He's still chasing up. Base is surviving. I really think Cypher could have dropped down if he wanted, and it would have been perfectly well entitled to. But he wants to keep that control going. It's only the second kill that he'd be chasing, not the third. So he's got to have a level of respect.
I feel like if Cypher had 2 champion advantage, I think he would have made that decision to jump down. I definitely think he'd have taken the risk if he knew he had more to work with. But there's another piercing sight. Minimal damage on the rocket, but he knows he's nearby. Base trying to get out of there. He's running away in situations too where defensive rockets have a high chance of being direct, and I think that's why Cypher's not chasing in some of these instances. Base is picking his escape routes really intelligently.
Oh, it's been superb from Base not to have died so far. I mean, absolutely, like, fair play to him. It's outstanding. And he's even challenging for control at the moment. He's hit 2 rails in a row. Cypher's in trouble.
Oh!
Somehow Base misses that rail shot. Cypher, he's actually pushing with the lightning gun. There might be a Dire Orb for him to watch out for. No, it's not for 5 seconds, but Base, he hits the sweet spot with the lightning gun, and he's back in this round.
Just like that. And Cypher going, if I'm going to go down, let's do the highest amount of damage in the smallest space of time. And the rail misses. The last minute ledge grab means he's not going to be able to land the rail. Uh-oh, chases it down.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a perfect orb. And it's actually going to be a better orb because the cooldown is far between almost half that for the Dire Orb. So he's going to have it back before BJ has dual wield.
Cypher just stretching his legs a bit over towards rail before he continues control. Base has found 2 light armors though, so he's back in contention. And it's not like he has to chase a frag before the timer hits. Yeah, he perfectly well clean up this round of just one more frag for him. Orb. Just
Oh, that teleporter saved him. That teleporter saved him so bad.
And he didn't use the orb, which, unless he somehow got the kill, it would have been stunning. But now he has that as that extra mobility defense. He could still turn it around if they meet in a close corridor. And he's run around and stolen heavy. Cypher hasn't heard this, but he smelt something's up.
Uh-oh. Base should be dead here.
His rocket jumped up.
Oh no, he misses it! He misses the rocket jump and it just turns him into a clay pigeon. That is really unfortunate.
Oh,
my God,
no,
Base.
and there's
Just
another.
destroyed.
You win.
It looked like he was bringing it back in Blood Covenant, but he wasn't quite able to. Cypher hitting a string of shots that worked out fantastically for him. I think Base was worried about killing himself from doing the double jump up the pillars, which is why he didn't carry on. Or he was trying to do a fake of some sort, because I'm pretty sure you can't do one rocket just to get up that part of the map. I'm pretty sure you have to make it two. And he must have had
Either
rockets
way.
left, dropped it on his corpse.
Either way, that was definitely the beginning of the end right there. The second that airborne rail connected, I mean, he was dead for free anyway. And then fresh off the spawn, it was just momentum in his favor. And Cypher, when he has to turn it up, he becomes extremely dangerous. You know, the amount of his accuracy on the rail. I didn't get to check at the end there. His accuracy on rails were insane, absolutely insane. Which on Blood Covenant, you got to make sure you're hitting those rails because you've got so many amazing angles to keep people behind. And Cypher kept Base behind the whole time.
It does line up a pretty sick final for us as well when we move into best of fives. We've got Zron going up versus Cypher. This should be an exciting one, actually. These are Zron. He's been around for a bit of time, but he's definitely one of the sort of fresher faces in the top tier competitive scene. Cypher, he's a pure-blooded, pure-bred, old-school guy with a huge amount of achievements, listing years back. Zron, despite being a world champion in Quake Champions for Sacrifice, it's like a battle of new school versus old school. I think that's a fair way to put it. Catch up.
I think you could definitely say that. And it's always a great tale to see players that have really started to make a name for themselves in Quake Champions going up against old school legends that, you know, we always say this because it will never stop being apparent that each new version of Quake will show and display younger talent that are breakout players in the new title. You know, we have that with players all the time. You know, we see that with Tox and Quake 4, you know, Rafa and Quake Live. Back in the old days, you know, 0-4 and Quake 3. But like, I think we're at an age in Quake Champions where Zron, Razy, Claws, these guys are those players of old in Quake Champions. And whenever they go up against a legend who was around as legendary status in games before them, it's always really exciting to watch from a viewer's perspective.
Ketchup, you know that I've also got, well, the perfect tools required for watching the Quake Open League finals with. I've got my Quake hat over here. Have you got yours?